young players in your squad. What is your philosophy when it comes to developing and producing young players?
Well, first of all, you have to assess in what stage of the development they are. And I consider there are 5 different ones. We are pretty lucky because the academy has done such a great work in the last few seasons to produce the players and the personalities that we have in the squad right now. So when it comes to that is how can we support them? How can we create the right environment for them to grow in a place where they have some protections, but at the same time they have the exposure for them to grow under the circumstances of a context that they have to deal with the pressure and big competition. And I love working with young players.
You have an important core now of young English players who've come from Hale End, Saka, Nelson, Willock and Nketiah. How important is that for the future of this team?
Really important because this is part of our DNA. If we can produce at home with all the facilities we have, with the structure that we have in place, players of that caliber and that level, something that you cannot compare with anybody that you bring from the outside, because their feelings, the relationship that they have within the club, how much they care, and the passion they're going to put in for our team is different, and for me that's an extra that you don't get from anybody else.
You said that they're different. How far do you feel these players can go?
I think they have to see the limits. We want to give them as many opportunities as possible, again, with the right environment and with the right structure around them. But then depends on them. This is not about doing it for 1 month or 3 months or 8 months. This is doing it for a long term. And the demands of this football club and the level that you have to be there. So you have to be really consistent, and probably that's the hardest thing to do.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
George, BBC.
Mikel, hello. I just wondered, with you obviously knowing Manchester City so well, at the start of last season, you and Pep would have sat down and discussed their weaknesses. So do you think you can target their weaknesses tomorrow?
That's what we will try to do as much as possible. Like any other team, they have some weaknesses, as you mentioned, and as well is about stopping as well their strength, which they are a lot. It's part of any game plan. It's not about City, it's about any other opponent that we are facing, and tomorrow we will do exactly the same.
In terms of Pep, how long do you think he will stay at Manchester City for? There's a lot of talk about where he will go next. Do you think he'll be there for a while, or this could be his last season? Or
I don't know. He's been there 4 years, which for him is quite a long time already. And look at the success that he has. So he feels really happy there. I think he has surrounded with great people as well across the club, and he feels that the players and the style and the identity he has created belongs to him as well. He's close to the fans. So I see him really happy, but I don't know. That's a question for him.
And just on your programme notes on Tuesday, you said that Dani Ceballos has been outstanding. Does he want to stay, and do you think you can keep him next year?
Well, that's a conversation that we are having with the club to see what we can do in the future with him. But I'm really, really happy with the progress and how much he's improving and how much he's giving to the club as well. And I always put the example that he's a lone player, but when you see his celebrations for every goal, the way he trains every day, how much he cares, he's fighting, he's top. I'm really happy with him.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ian at TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
Hello. Good, thank you.
Can I start by asking what your reaction is to Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, who today has said that the aim, if it's safe to do so, is to get football fans back into stadiums by October? Then stated how many, but can I just get your reaction to that, please?
Well, that's the rumors that we are hearing. Obviously, things are evolving in different countries in different ways. I think we have to be patient. I think we are all desperate to have our people back in the stadium and make football what it is again. but obviously we are able to create a safe environment for everybody to come and join. And my opinion is that it will be gradual, and the sooner the better, but let's do it carefully.
It's good that the Prime Minister, though, is talking about it, yeah?
Very good, because they can see, obviously, that in the near future things are going to improve, and that's another sign of that, which is really good, not for football, but for society in general.
You won the cup as you won the cup as a player. You're trying to now win it with the same club as a manager. And it's massive for Arsenal, isn't it, to win the FA Cup this year, because it would seem to be the way into Europe for you, and Arsenal Football Club needs that. Absolutely,
for many different reasons, but as well because this competition is a big part of our history in the last 10 years, even more. So it's a great opportunity for us to go and win a trophy, and we are very excited, and we will try to go there again tomorrow and make another step forward.
Finally, Mesut Ozil tweeted before the Liverpool game that he was ready. I'm not sure what he was ready for, but he said he was ready, I assume, to play. And he's been pictured training. Is he in your squad for the weekend? And is he in your thoughts?
Yeah, he's been training.
Is he in the squad?
I haven't done the squad yet, but he's in training.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Darmish, Sky.
Hey, Mikel.
Hello.
The result against Liverpool and the manner in which you managed to keep them out after they scored that goal, does that set you up nicely for this City game? Because the way City play, they're expected to have a lot of the ball, aren't they?
Unfortunately, yes. And we had a really good reaction after the goal. And it's not easy because they are such a dominant team. I'm really pleased with the result that we got. They're going to be very different games within that game, and it's going to happen tomorrow as well. You cannot expect to be dominant for 90 minutes, and I don't want to be defending deep for 90 minutes. So there are going to be a lot of little games within that game that we have to play really good. We'll have our moments as well, and you know how crucial it is in big games in this competition to make it always good and make the right decision. So, I expect not a similar game, but level of difficulty will be, again, really, really high.
After the Liverpool game, you spoke about your worries over the finances in advance of the summer transfer window. Is selling players in order to buy new ones, is that an inevitability, do you think?
I don't know. We are facing a lot of uncertainties at the moment. Obviously, COVID-19 has hit all the clubs. It's obviously a big worry, the uncertainty we have with some of the players, the uncertainty we have as well, because we don't know where we're going to finish and how much impact financially that is going to have. So we're going to have to sit down at the end of the season and see what we are able to do. But we are working together with the club since the last few months to put different plans together and see how we can minimize these all uncertainties that we have.
Just following up on what you said about Mesut Ozil, I know you've been speaking about him a lot and on Guendouzi as well. Could you just describe if all of your selections are just based on the footballing reasons, and could you describe your relationship with those two players? Because I'm guessing they can't be happy that they're not playing.
Pure footballing reasons. My decision is always that. My only ambition is to put the best squad, the best players, that they give us the best balance in and out the field and the best possible chance to win the game.
Final one from me, Mikel. Where's your positivity level with regard to the future of your captain, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Are you more hopeful that he will sign a new contract and stay beyond his current deal?
I've been always very positive about it. I don't hand the key of the future, and in football anything is possible, but I see his reaction. I see how he's training every day. I know that he's happy. I talk to him a lot, and if we are able to do it, I think we can do it, and we know how important he is for the team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark at PA.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
During your time at City, you faced Arsenal 9 times and you won 7 of them, scoring 22 goals. So obviously, as a coaching team, you must have worked out the best way to beat Arsenal. So what have you had to change to make sure that doesn't happen again this weekend?
Well, it's it's a different team. We are a different team as well, and I know their strength and I know the flexibility they are, the things that they're going to try. But even like that, sometimes it's very difficult to stop. I want to focus on what we want to do. If I worry too much about them, it's not the message I want to send to the players. It's what we're going to do, what we have to do to try to win the game, to give us the best chance to compete against them throughout the 90 minutes and put them under difficulties. And that's what I will do, and that's the game plan that we always put against any team.
Is it a bit of a worrying trend, though, because it's 7 City wins out of the last 7 games?
Yeah, but if I look at the trends as well, before we played Liverpool as well, with the calendar year or the last 2 calendar years that they have, you get depressed. And what I need now is energy to transmit to my players, belief. And it's a FA Cup, and we have a lot of experience here. We have a history related to that, and let's go for it.
A player who flourished during your time at City was obviously David Silva. What is his legacy in English football, and do you feel he's been slightly underappreciated in a more global scale?
I don't know. If I could read the articles and the comments when he joined the Premier League saying that player so small, he hasn't had the physicality, he won't adapt. You know, what David done in the league is been incredible. Again, the level of consistency to play, the way he's done with the amount of goals, assists and chances that he creates every single season in tighter spaces against very low blocks, time and time again, is incredible. I always said, and I agree with what Pep said, that in shorter spaces is the best player that I've seen.
Brilliant. And just finally, you've been asked a lot lately about the future of Pierre and how impressed you've been with his goal scoring record. Could I just flip that and ask you about Alex Lacazette? Are there talks to you over a new deal for him? And it's 3 and 4 games for him now. So is he starting to show you what you wanted to see from him when you first took over?
Yeah, but I really like Alex. I said that even before I joined here, he's the type of striker that I really like. I think he had periods where he was very unlucky because he was having the chances and not converting, which is not used to him. But the way he can link play, you know, he's a massive competitor. He hates to lose. He goes for every ball. You see in every challenge how he's ready to go, how works he hard, and he's a very intelligent player. I am really happy with him.
So he's a player you don't want to lose and would expect for contract talks to start.
Why I want to lose a player like him? I am really happy with him.
Thank you.
Charles at goal.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
I just wanted to quickly ask about Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You brought him on against Liverpool, but there has been reports that he wants to leave and that he doesn't really feel like you trust him. Have you spoken to him about these reports that have come out, and has he told you he wants to leave?
No, I don't discuss the reports. First of all, because I don't read them, so I don't know about them. I spoke with the players about how they are feeling and how can we help them if they are having difficulties. Again, speak to them and make them easier for him. He's a player that can play in many different positions. We have discussed the things that, in my opinion, he can improve or adopt to his game because he has incredible quality. He has every quality that you need a football player to play at the highest level, and he needs to do it in a little bit more consistent way. But he's someone that can adapt to any position as well.
So he does have a future under you at Arsenal. You do have trust in him.
Yes, and maybe I didn't play as much as I wanted him to play, but I play in many different positions and some very important games as well.
Yeah, your comments after the game on Wednesday night about financial backing been seen by many as a bit of a challenge towards the owners, the hierarchy. You know, sort of back me. I can only go so far with this group of players. So have you been sort of sending out messages to those above you about what you need?
No, and if that was misinterpreted, it wasn't my intention. We work so closely with all the hierarchy at the club, with the owners, to put the plan that we need to take this club forwards. Everybody has the same ambitions. We are in all of this together. But if you ask me if I know right now, what do I have? How can I do it? I'm sorry, but I don't know, because there are a lot of questions that we cannot resolve right now with the situation we have. One, financially, the other one is because we don't know if we are in Europe, because we have players that we don't know what is going to happen. And that's the reality. Here is not about sending the message. We are all with the same objective, is to try to bring the club back as quick as possible, fighting with the top teams in the country and in Europe. And that's it. And I want to do that as quick as possible.
Do you talk directly with the Cronkies over in the States, or most of your dealings with Raul?
No, I speak with them, and I had a really, really good and open relationship. That's why when you are mentioned that, I am surprised, because I don't need to do that, because I have the phone call and I can speak to them, and they've been very, very supportive from the first day that I joined the club. They were very much participating in the decision to bring me back here. And the same with Raul, with Vina, with Edu. There is no gaps or frictions or anything there.
So you can just pick up the phone and speak to Stan whenever you want.
Yeah.
Just lastly, the assurances you were given, I presume, when you were talking with them about taking over the job, have they changed at all because of obviously
the context is changed? Nobody knew what COVID-19 was going to do. You know, we didn't know where we could take the team. The team was in a really difficult moment that sometimes we were looking down. Don't forget to relegation zone and saying, "Oh Jesus, we won 1 in 13," and we want to move this forward. You know, and I am very ambitious because I can only think about this football club moving in one direction, and I'm going to push with everything I have. And my job is to do that, first of all, with the players that we have. And it's not just about the players. If I can improve with a staff member, with somebody that is going to give us an extra yard on something, I will push to do that, you know. And the first thing is to improve the players that we have. And I think we've done that so far, and we can go to the next level. Of course we can go. But in the meantime as well, we need sometimes to specificity to bring the club quicker into those positions.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So that can go live from 12:45, so 15 minutes. Just